class of 50 students. Enrolled. Paying tuition. Receiving federal financial aid. 44 of them didn't exist. That's not a glitch. That's not an oversight. That is a business model. And it's been happening at colleges across America. For years. With your tax dollars. Let's establish what the federal student aid system actually is. Every year, the U.S. government hands out hundreds of billions of dollars in Pell Grants, federal loans, and subsidized aid to help Americans go to college. The formula is simple. You enroll in a qualifying institution, and the money flows. Which means if you can control the enrollment, you can control the money. At San Jose Evergreen Community College District, the chancellor described a 50-person online class that filled up in minutes and had 100 people on the wait list. The school later discovered that just 6 of those enrolled students were real people trying to get an education. 6 out of 50 enrolled in one class. The Department of Education reports the federal government has lost more than $350 million to ghost student scams over just the past 5 years. The Inspector General has launched more than 200 investigations coast to coast. But ghost students, outside criminals using stolen identities, are only half the story. Because sometimes it wasn't outsiders running the scam. It was the schools themselves. In Chicago, federal prosecutors indicted 6 employees at the Center for Employment Training, a vocational school. From 2005 to 2013, the defendants applied for and obtained federal grants and loans for students who were ineligible to receive the funds. One purported student was marked present at classes even though that student was deceased at the time. The scheme caused the Department of Education to disburse millions of dollars in fraudulent financial aid. They marked a dead person as attending class. To collect a check. In Georgia, prosecutors found an entire school built for fraud. Apex, a private for-profit school offering programs in theology and Christian education, had co-conspirators who enrolled people who were not eligible to attend college, fraudulently completed financial aid applications in the fake students' names, did the students' homework and exams themselves, served as teachers, and manipulated grade requirements to keep qualifying for federal financial aid. The teachers were doing the fake students' homework to keep the fake students enrolled, to keep the federal money coming. In New York, executives from a for-profit college were convicted of defrauding financial aid programs by fabricating student records and collecting over $7 million in fraudulent aid. And in Detroit, federal prosecutors charged a woman who allegedly enrolled multiple individuals in the same or similar online degree programs, often completing the coursework herself on the student's behalf to make it appear they were progressing toward degrees, prolonging their eligibility for federal student aid benefits. The alleged scheme caused more than $3 million in aid to be awarded. She was doing their homework. They were collecting their aid checks. Here's where it gets truly staggering. In 2024, California community colleges reported over 1.2 million suspicious applications and more than 223,000 suspected fake enrollments. 1.2 million in one state, in 1 year. The Department of Education disbursed $150 million in aid in 2025 to ineligible students, including $30 million sent to people who were dead. $30 million to dead people. The Department of Education announced it prevented over $1 billion in federal student aid fraud since January 2025 alone, including coordinated international fraud rings and AI bots pretending to be students. $1 billion in attempted theft in under a year that they caught. Many victims don't even find out their identities were used until they're denied real aid or contacted by loan servicers. You find out your identity was used to enroll in college.
Here's what breaks me. The federal student aid system was supposed to be a ladder out of poverty. A kid from a low-income family, a kid whose parents never went to college, a kid who cannot afford tuition. That kid is supposed to get a Pell Grant. That kid is supposed to learn. That kid is supposed to climb out of poverty, into a career, into a life. Instead, they turned it into an ATM. Dead students marked present in class. For-profit schools doing the homework for ghost students. Real students blocked from courses they need because fake accounts booked every seat. Identity theft on a scale that should have been a national emergency. Real students denied aid they earned because the money was already gone. Stolen by people who never set foot in a classroom. And the worst part, it was not just the criminals. It was not just the fraud rings with stolen Social Security numbers. It was the people inside the institutions, the administrators, the directors, the teachers, the enrollment officers, the financial aid officers. People trusted with access to the systems. People trusted with the records. People whose job was to make sure the money went to real students. They did not exploit a loophole. They built the loophole. The more students enrolled, the more federal money flowed, so they stopped asking whether the students were real. Because the answer was inconvenient? Because dead people pay just as well as live ones? Because the people at the top were not checking? Because nobody in Washington wanted to know? This was not a glitch. This was a business model, a system built on an honor system. And the people in charge decided their honor was worth more than the kids who needed the help. And the kids who needed that aid. They got debt collectors instead of diplomas. They got phone calls from collectors about loans they never took out. They got credit ruined by ghost students who used their names. They got blocked from the courses they needed. They got nothing. While the people running the scam got everything, that is the scam. And we owe it to every one of those kids, the ones who got cheated, the ones who got their identities stolen, the ones who got debt they never earned. We owe them better than this.
Starting in 2025, after decades of essentially running an honor system on hundreds of billions of dollars a year. An honor system. And somehow everyone is surprised it got robbed. Subscribe to find out who makes the auditor angry next.
All individuals and institutions mentioned are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. The angry auditor is not a licensed financial aid advisor, enrollment officer, or bot. The auditor attended real classes with a real human body, which apparently made it a minority. Side effects of this channel include outrage, a sudden urge to verify your FAFSA records, and an uncontrollable need to subscribe.